Nash gives the ball up to Nowitzki on the left side of the floor, and you'll get a look here at what happens when you attack that front foot. Nowitzki, as a driver, attacks that front foot, gets into the middle, draws the foul, still has the presence of mind to get the ball up in the air, get it up in the air, which he does. It might go in. It did go in. Nowitzki will have a free throw and a chance to come away with 3 points. What do we say about keys to the game, JD? Shooting the ball. 58% right now for San Antonio, 36 for Dallas.
5 points for Nowitzki.
That is right in sync with our Nissan game plan.
Hubert Davis is in for Courtney Alexander. Duncan underneath to Robinson, and they turn it over. The Mavericks have it. Got to get those passes up to the big guy.
Yeah. Good call, coach.
But that was a big guy throwing it.
Yes, it was. Which should have made it even easier to make it up.
Finley against Elliott.
I like going there. I like going there. That's
San Antonio advancing, leading 17-9. We've played almost 7 minutes in this first quarter. Daniels on the miss. Nash the rebound.
Mavericks need some easy baskets, but San Antonio respecting the Mavericks, doing a nice job getting back defensively.
Finley gets the shot from the foul line over Robinson. Cleared by Daniels. So the cold shooting woes of the Mavericks continue. And off the ball, we got a whistle there. A foul on Nowitzki. Dirk Nowitzki with his second foul. There's an offensive foul on Duncan.
Duncan plays the game along with Robinson with such great temperament. They just do not display a lot of emotion other than to play hard all the time. They don't worry about officials. They don't get involved in lots of other things. They just play, and they play very well.
Nowitzki gets it away over Duncan. Robinson the rebound. Anderson guarded by Davis. On the cut by Anderson. Blocked by Bradley. And it's out of bounds to San Antonio.
That is a heck of a defensive play. You talk about coming off of your man and helping your team. Watch Bradley drop down. He drops down from the free throw line area. And that's a very fine left-handed block.
And he got him again. Trying to reverse it on the other side. Daniels outside to Duncan. And the rebound to Bradley.
2 blocks and a rebound for Bradley on that defensive end of the floor that time. Whoa.
He pulled back on the 3. Bradley has 4 rebounds so far in the game. 3:40 left in the first. 9 to shoot. Finley driving on Duncan. Shoots over Elliott. Gives it up to Nowitzki. Dirk on the miss. A rebound comes off to Robinson.
Shots are there, JD. Mavericks are getting shots.
Daniels. He gets it away. Overshoots the mark. Finley has it.
Wow.
And an offensive foul called on Finley. Finley with his first. A timeout taken. 3:20 for the first quarter at Reunion. The San Antonio Spurs with a 17-9 lead. Back against Bradley. Nash drops down in the double team. There's Daniels. And on the tip, a loose ball foul on Duncan, his second.
Oh, and that's good with 3 minutes to play in the first period. That's going to force, I think, Popovich to take Duncan out of there. You would hate for him to get his third this early. That probably will make Malik Rose that come into the ballgame, I would think.
Here he comes. He already made the other change with Steve Kerr replacing Sean Elliott.
David Robinson already has 7 rebounds. The Mavericks have 8 as a team.
2:55 for the first. Hubert Davis against Kerr. Nowitzki open. Dirk has to start pouring in those open shots. He's got 7 right now.
Nowitzki made a nice little move with the dribble to create a little space for himself. Had an uncontested look as a result of that.
Dirk has scored the last 5 for the Mavericks, who trail by 6. They were down 11.
Kerr has actually taken over the minutes that normally were given to Terry Porter.
Stolen by Nash, and a foul on Rose.
Will they give him a breakaway? Yes.
Yep. No, it's the 15th foul.
There you go. Okay. I don't know. He's out front. There's no defender. The rule reads from the top of that circle with no defender between you and the basket.
Nash, 94% from the free throw line on the season, has his first point tonight. He ranks 7th in the league in free throw shooting. 6 points in a row for the Mavs.
Point guard play is so important. Nash's play and Isley's play when Isley's at the point is so important to winning basketball games. That's why San Antonio right now, they really miss Avery Johnson.
Yep. He's sitting on the bench with 2 fouls. Anderson, Daniels off his hand, out of bounds to Dallas. Eduardo Nahara ready to come on for the Mavericks.
And on Fiesta night, that means cha-cha-cha time, doesn't it?
That's right. Dallas has scored the last 7 points of the game inside of 2 minutes for the first. Finley to Bradley. And there's Nowitzki cleaning up.
Bradley kept it alive. When you keep it alive on the offensive board, you get a second chance.
9 straight points for the Mavericks.
Nowitzki, 4 out of 8 from the field. That's a little better.
Stolen by Davis.
There's a basket.
And he beats Kerr to tie the game. The Mavericks turning it around in the defensive end, and Greg Popovich is burning another timeout. He's going to change it to a 20.
Yeah, he better do that. Having used one, you take the 20. He just wants to calm him down a little bit, but it's nice to see the Mavericks get out of that funk that they were in against Vancouver and to start this game here tonight. But they have been playing some good defense. And speaking of defense, deflection. Hubert Davis off the bench. Recovery right here. Kerr runs by him trying to get the steal. And Hubert Davis finishes at the end of the break. You need to get some of those easy baskets against a team that has shot blockers. And you have to get to the free throw line. They will try to funnel you toward their shot blockers, Robinson and Duncan. One of the ways in which you beat a shot blocking team is to beat it back or to beat it with your early offense before the defense can set up.
11 straight points for the Mavericks. They've been pitching a shutout since the 5:33 mark of the first. There's Nahara. He can't get in the game. And so I thought you could make substitutions on a 20.
No, you can. I think Nelly called him back.
Oh, okay.
Sent him back to the table.
1:22 left. It's a new rule where you can either... Offensive foul on Daniels.
Pushed off with his left hand, did he?
Yep.
He must have.
Daniels with his first. Nahara replacing Nowitzki. 1:19 left.
Does he push off with the left? Oh, he does right there. Pretty obvious. He got his left arm wrapped around the back of Nash. He didn't push off with it. He literally pushed from behind.
A hoop gives the Mavericks the lead.
Good curl cut by Hubert Davis.
Finley with a straight-on look. Nash the rebound under to Bradley, and Dallas by 2.
How about the pass by Nash? He never came down. In the air, made the high pass. Keep the ball up when you pass it to Bradley.
Bradley guarding Robinson.
Goes to his right again.
Robinson's pass stolen by Finley.
Easy baskets.
Here come the Mavericks on the move.
Beat him back down the floor. That's what you do.
Nash looks at a 3 right in the bottom of the net. And the Mavericks lead 22-17. It's a 5-point lead. Remember, they trailed by 11. 16 straight for Dallas.
And Popovich does not want to use another timeout, Jim, this early in the ball game as the first period winds down.
Off the ball, a foul on Nahara guarding Malik Rose. Avery Johnson coming back for the Spurs with 31.5 left in the first.
You can get your leg in between that defender, but you cannot raise it. You cannot dislodge. That's the term that the rule book uses. You cannot dislodge that offensive player by raising your heel off the floor and pushing him with your leg. That'll get you that call.
That free throw by Rose ended a long drought for the Spurs. They hadn't scored since the 5:56 mark.
And see, the Mavericks went right back and started to get baskets off their defense and off defensive rebounding. And that didn't happen against Vancouver. That didn't happen to start this game. They were playing good defense, but they couldn't convert.
16 on the shot clock, about 8 difference. Samaki Walker, the former Maverick, ready to come on for the Spurs. That's Nash. And Nash has scored the last 5. He's got 7 points in the game. Dallas up by 5. Final seconds of the first.
Well, you'd love to have a stop here.
Avery Johnson around a pick by Rose.
Keep him out of the middle. Keep him out of the middle.
Rebounded by Bradley. Ahead to Finley. And a very good-looking first quarter has come to an end from a Maverick standpoint. They dug themselves in a hole. They were down 11. But after 1, they lead by 5. There's that run that Bob talked about. 18 of the last 20 being scored by the home team. Finley, Hubert Davis. Hubert Davis with his second basket. It's funny. None of them can shoot, then they all can shoot.
It's a mental thing, I'm telling you. It's a confidence thing. But you hustle your way out of difficult times. That's just that plain and simple.
Derek Anderson continues to produce. He's got 9 points tonight for the Spurs.
If you sulk, if you feel sorry for yourself, if you stand around and wait for something to happen, you're in trouble.
Pass to Bradley, ripped out of there by Malik Rose. And then his pass to Kerr, stolen by Davis.
Oh, no, don't give him the ball.
To Bradley. To Nahara. Eddie with his first 2.
That's a pass you do not want to make. When Bradley's out front, you don't want to give him the ball. The Mavericks lucked out on that one.
It was fun, though.
Yes, it was. And cha-cha-cha got it. That's what counts.
Avery Johnson tries out the perimeter shot. Bradley the rebound.
Nice outlet pass by Bradley. Good, quick pass on the floor. See, get basket quickly.
Hubert Davis laying it in. Davis has 6. The Mavericks have opened up a 9-point lead. In this game, we have had a 20-point swing already. And we've got 10:18 left for the half.
Oh, good shooter. You better get to Steve Kerr.
Kerr trying to use the pick by Rose. Avery Johnson gets to the cup.
That's too easy there. You must keep Avery Johnson, whether he comes from the left side of the floor or the right side of the floor. You must keep him out of the middle.
First 2 points for Avery Johnson tonight. Finley at the point. Anderson guarding him. Hubert Davis. Rebounded by Hubert Davis. Tipped by Nahara.
Get it again, Hubie.
And here come the Spurs out on the run. Avery Johnson in on Finley.
Malik Rose is hurt. He's grabbing that left side. He went down hard. He's grimacing a little bit. You see him bent over there in the lane.
Mavericks lead cut back to 5. It was 9. Isley open and shooting. Kerr with the rebound. Avery Johnson closing in, takes it all the way to the basket. Nice handoff underneath. Walker on the miss. Tip won't go. Poked outside. Kerr grabs it.
Good effort inside by Isley, battling the bigger guys, trying to keep it alive. He was trying to tip it to Finley.
8:55 for the half. Avery Johnson back to the basket, missed the layup, drew the foul. He'll shoot 2. San Antonio has cut the Mavericks' 9-point lead down to 5. Time for our Ford fact, and it concerns the twin towers of the San Antonio Spurs on the bench right now. David Robinson and Tim Duncan. The only 2 players in NBA history.
And you know what? You can take that a step further. Those 2 guys, all NBA and all defensive teams in each of their first 3 seasons. You can go a little bit further when you look at San Antonio. The only team in the history of the NBA to have 3 Wooden Award winners. That's the best player in college basketball. They have 3 of them. Robinson, Elliott, and Duncan. That's amazing.
Avery Johnson making good at the free throw line.
Fast break points. Dallas with the edge, 9. San Antonio has 4.
Avery Johnson with 6 points in this quarter as the Spurs cut the lead down to 3.
That hectic pace that we saw late in the first period certainly favored Dallas.
Bradley finding Nahara over Duncan. Nahara gets his own rebound. Nope. Knocked it away though, and it's controlled by Anderson.
See, that's a good move on Dallas's part. I'll get back to it.
The loose ball grabbed by Isley. 3-on-2 at this end, and it's Hubert Davis. Missed for 2.
Good move on Dallas's part to go to Nahara because he was being guarded by Duncan, who has 2 fouls.
Now Elliott getting ready to come back for the Spurs. 8:09 for the half. Anderson off to Walker, lost it, and it's ripped out by Nahara. Greg Buckner ready to come on for the Mavs, and a foul called on San Antonio. It's on Derek Anderson. The regional sports report comes your way tonight at 11. Cowboys starter, OU and A&M preview, and high school football. Big night for that around Texas. So Greg Buckner into the lineup.
And it sure is nice to see him in the game. I don't know that he's 100%, but he's close.
Davis guarded by Kerr. 12 to shoot. Bradley open. Duncan the rebound. Terry Porter will be coming on for the Spurs shortly. Elliott picks it up against Nahara. 10 on the shot clock. Eduardo all over him. Now it's Duncan. Elliott hits from deep in the corner. It's a 2. 7 points for Elliott so far, and the Spurs have scored 9 in a row to pull even. I take that back. It's a 2-point basket, so they still trail by 1. 8 straight points.
Big possession for Dallas, I think, right now. The guys off the bench need to get some production right here. Pretty good shot. Pretty good shot
for Isley. And the Spurs now with a chance at the lead. Off the ball, a foul called on Buckner. Greg Buckner has his first. 2 team fouls. Porter is in. Leitner is replacing Sean Bradley for Dallas.
Let's see if Leitner can pick up where he left off against Vancouver late in that ball game when he played so very well.
San Antonio has it in play. A hoop gives them the lead. Inside, a foul called on San Antonio. Ronnie Nunn had it going the other way.
Yes, he did. He had a charge. I think the help, though, there is something that's stated in. Here's what they're doing. That you can help on the restricted area. He wasn't in the restricted area.
Foul is on Nahara, his second.
That defender was not in that restricted area.
We understand Malik Rose has a left hip pointer and may or may not return.
We saw him go down with that. Oh, good backdoor cut.
And a dunk by Duncan puts the Spurs up by 1.
Mavericks had a real nice run going at the end of that first period and really had some momentum.
And now San Antonio has scored 10 in a row. Hubert Davis with 10 to shoot. Davis in a crowd, dumps it underneath to Buckner. His shot blocked by Elliott. Here they come on the run. Avery Johnson in on Isley, who knocked it away, and a foul on Howard Isley. 2 fouls on him.
Avery Johnson still has that great quickness and speed. When he moves to his left hand with that dribble, comes across that lane, it's difficult to get position in front of him because of that quickness. Steve Nash looking on.
Isley shoots another. Dirk Nowitzki coming back for the Mavericks. Eduardo Nahara goes out. Dirk turns back to Nelly and said, who have I got? Duncan or Walker? Nelly's saying, which would you rather have?
That's what I'll take Walker.
Free throw rims out. Avery Johnson goes 0 for 2 that trip. So the Mavericks again with a chance at the lead. About 6 minutes for the half. Nowitzki knocked away by Avery Johnson. Dirk recovers under to Leitner. Shoots over Walker. Yep. Dallas by 1.
Good quick release. We pointed that out in the open when Leitner had a quick release on a jump shot on the left-hand side against Vancouver. That time it was from the right-hand side.
Hubert Davis guarding Porter. Another illegal defense called against the Mavericks. That's their second of the game. A technical foul and a timeout taken. 5:41 for the half. The Mavs by 1. From 1,000% to 750. And the Mavs still lead by a point. Duncan against Nowitzki. 6 to shoot. Elliott. Sean Elliott has 9 points.
It's really nice to see Sean Elliott back in form again after that kidney transplant. I just do not want him to have such a good night against Dallas. Save it for the next game, Sean.
Which is tomorrow for them at home against Vancouver. Leitner. 2 hoops for Leitner, and the Mavericks back up by 1.
I believe he was 8 out of 11 the other night, and he's 2 out of 2 here tonight.
So that would be 10 out of his last 13. Look at Buckner coming down to knock it away, and off of Duncan, out of bounds. Steve Nash coming back for Dallas. Isley going out. A little over 5 minutes for the half.
I'm not sure that Nelly wanted Isley out. He didn't. The wrong guy came out.
So Isley back at the scorer's table. The Mavericks a big edge off the bench.
I bet it was Hubert Davis.
There's a foul on Robinson. Nope, it's a foul on Porter. Porter with his first 2 team fouls. Now it's Isley for Hubert Davis.
Watch the man out of bounds get a shot. Greg Buckner. Let's see if he's the guy that ends up with the shot.
He's playing peekaboo down there along the baseline.
Here he comes. I told you. Oh, nice job. See, he had the shot, but he dropped the ball off.
Now Nowitzki finding Isley. He forces it up on the run. Howard Isley with a floater against the shot clock.
That's a tough shot. That is really a tough shot. He does that pretty well. Nash does that well.
36-33 Mavericks. Duncan in the post. Rebounded by Leitner. DIRK again. No basket. Offensive foul on Leitner.
Oh, wow.
First foul on Leitner.
Leitner has a very quick response and then heads on down the floor. Does he push right there? I could see how they would call a foul, but wow.
It's the 4th turnover for the Mavericks. The Spurs have committed 10. 4 minutes for the half, roughly. Elliott taken out of the air by Buckner.
Buckner was right up. I mean, right up in his jersey.
Nash off the reverse.
Oh, no.
Loose ball controlled by Elliott.
Nash didn't turn it over enough. Didn't give it enough English when he went underneath.
Elliott had it popped away by Nowitzki. Good play by DIRK.
That's one of Karl Malone's favorite plays. Karl Malone will strip you going up for shots as well as anybody in the league. That's what Nowitzki just did. He stripped the shooter as the shooter was attempting to rise to take the shot.
Elliott guarded by Isley. In it goes to Duncan. Had it knocked away by Leitner.
Wonderful defensive play. Nice job by the Mavericks converging on the ball.
Nash, Buckner missed on the tip. Controlled by San Antonio.
Watch Johnson on the wing.
Isley recovers to force him back outside. The Mavericks by 3. A little over 3 minutes left in the half. Robinson's hook. Rebounded by Isley.
Tell you what, the Mavericks are bothering San Antonio with their defense.
I didn't think they could do that. Nowitzki misses, and it's taken out by Porter.
You could tell that one was wide right. He had a good look right directly behind the shooter.
A timeout taken. 1 tick inside of 3 minutes for the half. 36-33 Mavericks. To the hands of Nowitzki.
He short-armed that one, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Oh, out front.
It's Leitner.
Nice. You got to get easy baskets against real good teams with shot blockers. You can't operate in a half-court offense all the time.
A 5-point Dallas lead. Their biggest has been 9. The biggest for the Spurs has been 11. Porter missing from the foul line. It's Nowitzki with another rebound.
Head up, keep looking. Quick shots. There you go.
Leitner driving on Robinson. Blocked, but a foul on Robinson.
They call it on
shoots 2.
They call it on Leitner.
Oh.
I don't believe it.
Leitner thought he got the call, but apparently not. That's 2 fouls on Leitner.
Oh my, Robinson's on the side of him. Look where he is. How can you call that foul on Leitner?
See, Leitner clapped his hands. He thought he had the call there.
Absolutely. So did everybody else.
2:13 for the half.
Sometimes the position of that official has a lot to do with how he sees it.
Duncan shoots on Nowitzki. Dirk the rebound. Boy, Dirk's been tough defensively.
And rebounding the ball.
Taking it coast to coast, and he's trying to finish. Tipped up Leitner.
Leitner's on a roll, JD, coming off that Vancouver game.
8 points tonight.
We made the statement in the open that, you know, would that translate? Would that get him on track in a Maverick uniform? It appears that it has.
The Mavericks up by 7. Finley out on Elliott. 8 to shoot. Underneath, it's Duncan. That's the call.
Yes, he did.
So the Spurs turn it over. The Mavericks have it. Sean Elliott guarding Finley. Isley against Anderson. Finley on to Nash. 10 to shoot. Nash shoots over Robinson. And Duncan. It's Elliott who brings it down.
Robinson made Nash get that ball up a little bit higher as he attacked him in the corner on the left side. Leitner working hard defensively.
They have thrown everything at Duncan. Duncan under pressure, kicks the pass outside to Anderson. 5 to shoot. Derek Anderson's outside shot is right there. He has really helped them tonight. 11 points for Anderson.
Boy, that's so important when you, with the shot clock running down, that's what Anderson and Elliott can do for you on the wings. They get you shots.
Outside jumper, Howard Isley. Nope. Nash the rebound.
Nice effort, Steve Nash.
Now the Mavericks can work a 2-for-1 here.
Posting up Nash. You don't have a post-up player, use a guard. What's the difference?
9 on the shot clock. Nash underneath. And the pass knocked out by San Antonio. 26.5 left in the half and 8 to shoot.
Nowitzki needs to be aware of the fact that when he has that perimeter jump shot with Duncan guarding him, and Duncan's going to come out of the game right now to protect him with those 2 fouls, but use that ball fake and that escape dribble.
22nd timeout for the Mavericks. Malik Rose coming back into the game for San Antonio. He replaces Duncan, and Antonio Daniels replaces Avery Johnson. Pop doesn't want either one of those guys to pick up their 3rd foul.
Yeah, I think that's just a good move on Popovich's part. I think the 22nd timeout right here is a good move on Nelson's part. But keep in mind, folks, there's 26.5 left in the first half, but only 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Dirk Nowitzki, 9.6 rebounds, 3 assists, and he's been very effective defensively.
And he's got a sore shoulder.
So they say.
Nelly told me one time he always had big games when he went into games as a member of the Boston Celtics and didn't feel good.
I think the player concentrates more. 3 on the shot clock. Nowitzki for 3. Nash another rebound. Steve Nash for 3. He didn't have to shoot it so quickly. Finley trying to make the steal on Elliott, knocked it out of bounds.
Mavericks are hustling.
Oh, they're alert. They're alive.
And they have been the whole first half. They did not play well offensively to start the ball game. They played well defensively, but they've been hustling. The effort's been there.
Buckner coming in for a defensive purpose with 9 seconds left. The Spurs have Duncan back in the game.
You get that defender
and
in
Avery
there.
Johnson.
Yeah, you get that defender in there against Anderson. Buckner takes Anderson.
Avery Johnson, 7 seconds.
Keep him out of the middle.
It's Anderson getting the shot away. Robinson with a follow. Blocked, was it? He came up short at any rate. And the first half has come to an end. And the big crowd at Reunion giving the Mavericks a standing O as they lead by 5.
A lot of how the games were played back in the early 90s in the Central Division when Chicago and Detroit and Cleveland and Atlanta and those teams used to go after.
You better show up every night with your A game because it's going to be competitive. It's fun. The fans get into it. Enjoyable first half.
Let's take a look at some highlights in that first half.
And for San Antonio, Derek Anderson was just outstanding all the way to the basket. Very athletic, a slasher. There's a dive cut. That's what a slasher will do. There couldn't be a better example of it than that. That really gives you a good idea of what it's all about. And he can still shoot the 3. A great acquisition by San Antonio in getting Anderson. And of course, when you build around a guy like Duncan and a great veteran like Robinson, your future is nothing but bright. Nowitzki to the basket, draws the foul, went to the free throw line, made the free throw for a three-point play. Nash out of the left corner. Mavericks really got it going toward the end of that first quarter. Michael Finley with a nice cut across the lane, takes a pass from Nash and finishes. Mavericks lead it by 5. We'll be back, folks. Look at the shot chart for Tim Duncan in the first half. A guy who normally gets his shots. He made only 2 out of 8 shots. You can see those makes right there. But the big thing that's happened, every time he is turning to shoot the ball, you're seeing double teams. Those little X's all over the place. They're double teaming him, not giving him good looks at the basket. They've been very successful with that. And JD, you got the ball.
All right, Coach. Tim Duncan with 5 points in the first half. I thought Dirk Nowitzki played more like a 7-foot player in that first half than I've seen him play in a long time.
He was intimidating shooters. He was rebounding the ball. He was doing a good job at the defensive end of the floor.
Anderson trying to shake a defender. Eric Anderson continues to shoot lights out. 13 points, and he's 6 out of 11 from the field tonight.
He led them in the first half with those 11 points.
So it's back to a 3-point game. Neither team will let the other one run out. They reel each other back in. San Antonio was up 11 in the first quarter. The Mavs were up 9 in the first half. Nash's pass deflected by Anderson. Finley grabs it, 4 to shoot. Under the gun, Michael Finley. Nope, and Duncan the rebound.
Good hustle by Finley to get the ball back.
Here's Anderson. Bangs in with Alexander. Missed the shot, drew the foul, and Courtney Alexander has his third. The Miller Lite halftime stats look like this. Both teams below 40% from the field. A slight rebound edge to the Mavericks. Big edge for Dallas off the bench. And points in the paint. And that's a surprise, wouldn't you say? 24-14 Dallas?
No, absolutely. With Duncan and Robinson on one end of the floor, and the Mavericks come away with a big edge in points in the paint. Now, some of those, keep in mind, folks, they come on fast break opportunities where you're in the paint shooting a layup. And that's something that Dallas absolutely has to do again here in the second half. And they need a basket right now. You want to come out of the locker room. You played well for most of the first half, not early in the first quarter, but for most of the first half. And you don't want to give momentum back to San Antonio. And right now it is, because they've got 4 points already.
Nash sets up Nowitzki. Boy, Dirk continues to cook.
But no hesitation, JD. And that's what a shooter, no hesitation. Shots there, boom, bingo. You got to take it.
That pushes the Mavericks lead back to 3. Nash guarding Avery Johnson. He drops down on Duncan. Avery Johnson with a straight-on look, and it's Nowitzki with the rebound.
He's everywhere tonight. Watch this. He's going to the basket.
Had the shot blocked by Duncan. Elliott ahead to Anderson. And it's Elliott who lays it in. Sean Elliott with 11. San Antonio back to within 1.
There's a lot of athleticism on the floor on both sides.
Nash works around a Bradley screen. Bradley turns, fakes on Anderson, gets the hook up there, knocked away.
I think Robinson got a piece of it.
I do. Yeah, I believe he did. Now the Spurs looking for the lead, and it's Robinson who takes the shot. He's been short a lot tonight.
And they're looking for Duncan down low, but the Mavericks game plan has been outstanding. Give credit to the coaching staff.
Nowitzki on the miss. On a long rebound, we have a loose ball foul called, and it's on Avery Johnson. That's his third.
Game plan against Duncan and Robinson has been outstanding. Mavericks are double teaming those guys, trying to take away Robinson going to his right. He's been able to do that some, but you're not going to stop it completely.
Finley being guarded by Elliott. 9:45 left in the third. The Mavs up 1. Nash picks up a double team with 9 to shoot. Finley swings to Hubert Davis. Davis off the drive, left the floater short, and it's cleared by Duncan.
He does not normally do that. Davis is a pretty good shooter when it comes to that floater.
Here's Anderson again going inside, shot it up over the basket.
Did you see the white jerseys drop down and try to help out on him? That team defense forced that.
And what you know about Anderson, if he's going to the basket, he's going with the idea to finish.
Yes.
He's not going in there to try and draw defenders and kick it out.
You're exactly right. He thinks that way.
And so the Mavericks understand that. They've got a pretty good defensive game plan when he goes that way. Finley. Bradley got it away over Robinson. Cleared by Elliott. We got ourselves a defensive tussle here tonight.
Yes, we do. Shooting percentage indicative of that. See how they're looking for Duncan, and you see Nowitzki doing a nice job.
Offensive foul. 3-second violation is the call on Duncan. So again, the Mavericks a 1-point lead. Finley against Elliott. To Bradley. Knocked away by the Spurs. Anderson being watched by Davis. Robinson over Bradley. Cleared by Hubert Davis.
Mavericks have to capitalize on some of these possessions right now.
David Robinson 1 out of 7.
Oh, right. See how aggressive Nowitzki was.
And the basket is good, and a foul. The foul is on Robinson.
Nowitzki never hesitated. He got the ball and he immediately made his move to the basket. No hesitation, no thinking about it. I mean, watch him on the wing. Here he comes. He got the ball from Davis right down inside, right against Robinson. That's a heck of a move.
Dirk missed the free throw, so he has 13 points so far. The Mavericks lead by 3. We've played almost 4 minutes here into the third.
Duncan's got to move in, one bounce dribble, and take the shot. I really believe he has to do that against Bradley.
Robinson fakes on Nowitzki. Avery Johnson gets it away on Nash. Ooh, looked like Duncan pushed Bradley underneath.
He did push.
Here's Nowitzki again.
See, no hesitation at all. Nowitzki's just, if I have the shot, I'm taking it. That's it.
If I'm open.
And he's talking to himself right now about having missed it. Don't do that. Shooter's amnesia. That's right. Forget the miss. Think about the make.
All good shots are open shots within your range if you're a good shooter. Good play. Avery Johnson laying it in.
Turn your head and look at the ball. You do not know where your man is. You cannot do that.
8 points for Avery Johnson. 7:19 for the third. Back to a 1-point Mavericks lead again. Run out at Finley to run him off the 3.
Yeah, they've done a nice job defending Michael Finley.
Nash. Avery Johnson a reach-in foul. That's his 4th.
And when you do a good job defending Michael Finley, you're going to keep yourself in the game if you're playing against the Mavericks. Watch the move by Nash. The foul will be committed by number 6, Avery Johnson. He reaches out, tries to get a piece of the ball, and hacks Nash. Mavericks end up with a good free throw shooter at the line.
Steve Nash 3 out of 3 tonight. Daniels in. Johnson is out.
You have to be aware of Daniels' athleticism when he comes in the game. He's very athletic. He'll make some very, crowd-pleasing plays. But sometimes his decision-making certainly is not equivalent to that of an Avery Johnson.
The 2 free throws by Nash give him 9 points for the game.
See that shot? I think Duncan's he's got to become a threat with that shot.
Daniels off the cut. The ball tipped good by Robinson.
He stayed with it, didn't he? He tipped it on the right side of the basket, then he tipped it on the left side of the basket.
David Robinson only his 2nd basket tonight. He's 2 for 9 in the game. Still the Mavericks hang on to a 1-point lead. Finley gets a 3 up on Elliott. Robinson the rebound.
Michael's a little frustrated, I think. He's not been able to get a lot of shots tonight. But what he must remember is it's respect.
These guys know how to defend, and they're very good at defending the 3-point field goal. They give up only 29% from 3-point range.
Good job by Nash pushing the ball.
Hubert Davis comes back to save near midcourt. 6 minutes for the third. 46-45 Mavericks. Davis tries the 3. Duncan the rebound. Alexander's pull-up puts San Antonio on top, and Derek Anderson, has 17 points tonight and a timeout taken. 5:43 remaining. 1-point lead for the Spurs.
Different defensive schemes that Nelly runs. I think it's a plus. It's an even bigger plus at the offensive end of the floor.
Dirk Nowitzki puts the Mavs back on top. So we're having a bit of a shootout here between Nowitzki and Anderson.
And we really are, and you would expect it to be Finley, Robinson, or Duncan.
Duncan draws that double team again.
Mavericks have done a wonderful job against him.
Daniels, 8 to shoot, underneath to Robinson. A 3-second violation against the Spurs, the second in this quarter.
I'll tell you, the game plan by Don Nelson has been outstanding. And by the way, it's against his former assistant coach at Golden State, now the head coach of San Antonio, Popovich.
13 turnovers, and how about this? Points off turnovers. The Mavericks a 17-1 edge. But on the board, they're only up 1. And here's a turnover. A foul offensive called on Nash.
You know what? This crew has called a very tight game here tonight. This officiating crew has not allowed anything to go on. I mean, it's very closely called. And if you're a player, you have to realize that and adjust to that. That's a very important part of experience and winning in the NBA.
Elliott.
Nice defensive job by Finley.
Elliott kicks out to Daniels, who shoots for 3. Antonio Daniels with his first points tonight.
He's a streaky player, too. You do not want Daniels to get in one of those streaks.
San Antonio with a 2-point edge. About 4.5 for the third. It was 40-35 Mavericks in the half. Nash in the post. Works on Daniels. The kick out for Nowitzki, and the 3 is nailed. Dirk with his first 3-pointer tonight, only the second made by the Mavericks in the game.
8 out of 18 from the field for Nowitzki.
Elliott, a good move in the lane. Nowitzki to turn away.
Playing both ends of the floor, Dirk Nowitzki.
And then, what's the call?
Robinson.
Nash went down.
No, I guess not.
A kick ball, apparently.
Yeah, Mavericks are going to. San Antonio's going to get it back. Let's see if we can see the kick. Nice block by Nowitzki. Excellent defensive play.
Daniels at the foul line. Antonio Daniels has hit the last 2 for the Spurs. They go back up by 1.
Streaky. When Daniels gets like that, he begins to feel real good about himself, and he'll just go in streaks.
Get their last 5 points. Finley draws the crowd, finds Davis. Got it away over Anderson. Rebounded by Finley. Mavericks by 1.
Offensive rebound. A bit of a break. It went right to Michael Finley, but he caught it and put it back up and in.
3.5 for the third. We're setting the table for a great fourth quarter tonight. Down low, a foul on Leitner, trying to stay with Duncan. 3 fouls on Leitner. 2 team fouls on the Mavericks. 3:27 left in the third. Elliott looks to make the inbounds pass. Comes to Duncan. Daniels.
He wants the shot. He's in one of those streaks, and he's looking to shoot the ball.
Now Elliott with 3 to shoot. Works on Nash, and a foul on Steve Nash. That's 3 team fouls on the Mavericks and 2 fouls on Nash.
I think San Antonio wants to take a timeout.
With 3:15 left in the third quarter. Good, tough, low-scoring game continues at Reunion with the Mavericks leading by 1.
That's what Daniels will do. He just gets a rhythm going. He gets in a streak like that, and then he thinks, shoot, shoot, shoot.
You're right. He's got all 7 in this quarter.
That's what he will do. It's exactly how to define his game.
Nash trying to shake Daniels at this end. Leitner with a pass off to Nash. Underneath, it's Finley. Over Elliott. Right down the pipe. What a shot by Finley.
I'll tell you what, the Mavericks moving that rock around quite a bit that time. Leitner went up and had to drop it off because Robinson attacked Leitner. He saw the pressure coming.
Antonio Daniels into Robinson. Robinson against Leitner. Knocked loose. Grabbed by Nahara.
Oh,
Leitner
great
ahead of the pack. Leitner finished off against Elliott. Elliott said he cleared out. but that wasn't a call.
Super pass by Michael Finley and a very nice catch and finish by Leitner.
I tell you, Bob, the way this game is going, a 5-point lead is huge. 10 on the shot clock. Robinson under to Rose. Malik Rose with the layup. First field goal for Rose. He has 4 points scored.
San Antonio gets an easy one there.
Isley with a quick attempt, going for a 2-for-1. Anderson on the dribble. Antonio Daniels guarded by Nash.
They'll shoot it as late on the shot clock as they can.
About 7 difference. Daniels off to Robinson. 2 hoops in a row for the Spurs, and just like that, it's a 1-point game. 13 seconds left.
Execution.
Finley with 5 seconds, guarded by Elliott. Long jumper by Finley. Michael Finley nails it to put the Mavericks up 3 with 1 second left, and the third quarter has come to a close. So we've got the makings of a great finish tonight. Dallas by 3 after 3.
Daddy.
That San Antonio doesn't have points off of turnovers is that the Mavericks have only 7. They're not turning it over. Remember, the Mavericks finished second in the NBA last year, averaging 13.7 turnovers.
Steve Nash hits the first shot of the fourth quarter, and the Mavericks lead by 5. This has been a closely contested game. Besides the 11-point lead for the Spurs in the first half, the Mavericks led by as many as 9.
Interesting, they're trying to isolate Duncan by bringing 2 people high so that there's no help to take him.
Duncan gets to the baseline and delivers with a hook. 7 points for Duncan.
They're trying, San Antonio is, to lift 2 people and stay away from Duncan so that there's no help side defense and he can operate down low one-on-one, and it worked that time.
Isley's pass, he tried to thread the needle to Leitner, and the Spurs the steal. The 8th turnover for Dallas. Steve Kerr with Isley on it.
I tell you, Leitner's played pretty well again off the bench.
Daniels.
Nowitzki's played extremely well tonight. He's getting a rest right now. Not long, probably.
It's Kerr firing, and Duncan called for a loose ball foul.
Yes, he did, with his left arm.
3 fouls on Duncan. First team foul at San Antonio with a 4th, and Greg Buckner coming back for the Mavericks.
Duncan looks like he's been to the ocean. He's got a starfish on top of his head. The shot by Kerr. You see Duncan push with the left arm. Number 21, he pushed Leitner and got caught.
So the Mavericks with Buckner in there, along with Finley, Leitner, Nash, and Isley. Finley, he's hit some big shots in the second half. That one rebounded by Duncan, 63-60.
Finley just made an excellent move offensively to get open, and the shot was there. Nothing wrong with that possession at all. You're not going to make them all.
Rose working on Buckner along the baseline, and a foul called on Greg Buckner.
Number 21, Greg Buckner.
Remember that San Antonio has only 2 full remaining timeouts plus a 20, while the Mavericks have 3 and a 20. Both teams at this point both have 1 team foul.
And that's the second personal foul on Buckner. There's another call off the ball. A foul on Isley. Isley with his 3rd. Finley picks up a crowd under to Bradley. Sean Bradley with a big basket.
Finley doesn't give Bradley many bounce passes, but he had no choice there. He had to make the bounce pass.
The Mavs back up by 2. Anderson comes back to Duncan. Nowitzki out on it. No, stolen by Nash. Nash, Finley, and the Mavericks lead by 4.
Nice job, Steve Nash. Good catch, good finish, Michael Finley.
16 points for Finley.
But it came from the defensive end of the floor once again. That's the only way you're going to beat good teams, is to get baskets from your defense.
Buckner guarding Elliott. Oh, Duncan nearly shoved away to get that ball.
I believe he did.
1 on the shot clock. Daniels on the bank. Nope, and it's taken down by Buckner.
Look at Buckner in traffic. He says, if you don't mind, I'll take this one.
Finley guarded by Elliott. I'll tell you what, Bob, should the Mavericks win this game, I can't remember ever uttering the words, the Dallas Mavericks defense won them a ball game.
It's about to happen.
It would happen tonight. Duncan fouls Bradley, and he shoots two. When we come back with 5:04 remaining, 71-67 Mavs. San Antonio with the lead, 7 straight points for the Spurs, 1:12 left.
Get a good look and go to the boards.
Finley dumps it under to Bradley. And a foul called will put Bradley on the line, shooting 2. The foul on Anderson. 4 fouls on Anderson.
Sean Bradley with 1:06 on the clock at the line. Finley drops it down to Bradley. Bradley had a pretty good look underneath there, but went over the basket with it.
You know, we both noted, Bob, that in this game tonight, Bradley has been very aggressive. And he's getting some calls.
You'll get calls.
Yeah.
It's when you lay back that things go against you.
6 block shots tonight. The Mavs could use this free throw with 1:08 left.
Stay on the line, Sean Bradley. Follow through and stay there. Don't back off.
He nails a big one.
Yes, he does. How about a stop, JD?
They've been doing that tonight. The Mavericks defense has been at its best. Anderson guarded by Finley. Robinson with a fake. Slips through underneath. He's called for a walk.
There you go. There you go. Nelson has 2 timeouts and a 20. Popovich has 1 timeout and a 20. Nelly's not going to help him. He's not going to take the timeout. Nope. That's a good job by Nelson. That would really help Popovich right now. A 1-4 alignment.
12 on the shot clock. Finley guarded by Elliott.
Oh, he got some space.
And the Mavs lead by 2.
He got some space with a crossover dribble right to left. He separated from the defender and took it home. Here's a play. Finley crossover right to left. Sean Elliott backs up. Nice move by Finley to get the shot. The crossover enabled to give him to get some room. There's Joe Smith right there in the house tonight.
And the Spurs used a 22nd timeout, so Popovich still has 1 full timeout remaining.
Tell you what, that was a long 20 seconds, was it not? Really? I mean, look at there.
One night to the next.
Oh boy. 6 out of 27. And then you turn around and have a night like this. 17 of 39 tonight.
Avery Johnson at the point. 28 seconds left.
They're going to go to Duncan or Robinson, I would think.
This is their
defensive
possession. Down on the floor, Bradley and Robinson. And a jump ball. Timeout taken by San Antonio. That's their last timeout. The Mavericks by 2. San Antonio with 10 seconds to shoot. Here's the deal. If Dallas gets the defensive stop, they can just run it out.
Absolutely. They do not have to shoot the ball, but they need to stop. And they have been very good defensively. I don't think you want to get too far away from Elliott or Anderson. 2 good 3-point shooters, and a good substitution by Popovich right now. He puts Kerr into the game for Avery Johnson. Now you got to play those 3 guys honest outside on the 3-point shot attempt and still try to double Robinson and Duncan.
Elliott looks to bring it in. Comes into Robinson, back to Elliott, all the way to the hoop. The shot's blocked by
Nowitzki.
Buckner ahead to Nash, stolen by Kerr. What's the call? A foul called on Duncan. Spurs taking a foul to stop the play.
Now, if it's away, at that point, are they going to give him 2 shots?
So Buckner shooting 2 big free throws with 18.8 left. He's on the line for the first time in the game. He's 6 of 9 from the free throw line. Bradley with huge numbers tonight, 7 blocks. They did give Bradley a block on that last one. Instead of Nowitzki, they ruled Bradley got it. Buckner hits. No timeout for the Spurs, remember. A 3-point Dallas lead.
Will they go for a 3 or a 2?
You got to go for the 3.
Absolutely.
Elliott off dribble penetration, gets through underneath, shoots on Bradley. No, missed tip Robinson. Loose ball, long jumper, good for 3 by Avery Johnson. That ties the game.
The one guy you want to shoot the 3, you make them shoot a 2. They can't win if they score the 2. They miss it. The ball ends up in Avery's hands, and he hits a 3 from the corner. Oh, my.
With 4.1 left, the Mavericks taking a timeout in a tie game.
They have time. Watch the shot clock in the lower right-hand corner. The game clock, excuse me. They move Elliott to the basket. He misses. The ball is tipped. It goes out to Avery Johnson. Nash puts pressure on. Johnson has to shoot it and makes it to tie the score. Mavericks will move the ball to the 10-second line. Inbounds the ball. Now remember, they can throw it in the backcourt. I would assume they would not elect to do that. Hey, Bob, in this case,
that's Avery Johnson's not only first 3-pointer of the year, that's his first attempt.
See, he doesn't shoot 3s. We talked about that when Popovich took Johnson out of the game and put Kerr in, and that's the first one he shot this year.
Still time for the Mavericks to win the game,
Absolutely.
though.
Absolutely.
And Leitner is coming back.
That's because you don't have time to go to a low post game. You want the better shooter in the game with some distance. Leitner gives you that.
Buckner to throw in.
Watch Finley down the sideline.
Finley breaks into the open.
He's got a shot.
Finley against Elliott. The fadeaway by Finley. Dallas wins.
Big heart, baby. Big heart and a lot of guts. Oh, my, oh, my, oh, my.
Just like the last game between the two last year, at the buzzer, the Mavericks come up with a game winner.
And the guy that hit the winner a year ago was Strickland. This time it's Finley.
Was a defensive tussle the entire night, and Michael Finley is the hero, obviously, with that clutch shot at the buzzer, but it was the defense of the Mavericks that won this game.
The game clock in the lower right-hand corner. Finley with the ball. Gets down low. Uses that step back again, that retreat step. Plenty of time on the clock when he shot it. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Remember, if you're talking about a guy, you get a second look at it right here. Watch it closely. Elliott goes up and really defends it, and Michael Finley had 4 points in the first half, and once again ends up with 20 and the game winner.
They dug in at the defensive end to get the win, and that's it from Reunion. For Bob Ortegal.